Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another lesson, another module in the program. Okay, today we're going to be talking about how your agency can build out its ad copy for Facebook ads. Okay, very important aspect. Obviously, when you're running ads, if you don't have good copy, it's going to make it a lot more difficult for Facebook to reward you with a good click-through rate and good CPMs. Okay, so copy is very, very important. So let's talk about the goal of your ad copy. All right, obviously the main goal is to get qualified clients, or honestly, better spokenly, qualified prospects to actually click your ad and be brought to the next step of your funnel. Okay. I want to change your mindset on things because I think a lot of people, they think, okay, like I need to build this ad to get new clients, right? Or I need to build this ad to get this return, like whatever it is. They think like way too far ahead. You have to view your entire marketing strategy as like a one step-by-step sort of process, right? So when someone clicks your ad, the goal is to get them to click the ad and actually land on the landing page, right? So that's your only goal, right? So you need to start thinking and approaching your marketing in that sort of sense. Like, what is the next step of the actual customer journey that I'm looking to take this prospect on, right? If you approach it from that sort of sense, it actually simplifies and dumbs things down quite a bit for you, because now you can optimize that one factor to get that person or that prospect to the next step of your actual marketing strategy. Okay, so hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. So the goal of your copy, obviously, take that prospect and get them to move to the next step. This case, it's to your actual landing page, right? Click your link, move to the next step of your funnel. Now, the copywriting framework, okay, there's 4 main pillars that you need to consider, okay? Number 1 is creating desire. Number 2 is reaffirming your audience. Number 3 is your solution and your unique mechanism or your unique process that you're actually going to apply to that prospect's business to get them the results, okay? And then the last one being your call to action, okay? So let's talk about creating desire. Now, we immediately want to spike our prospect's desire within the first few words of our ad copy, okay? The easiest way to spark desire, and by extension curiosity, is via the offer and the appeal. Okay, so I know that I go into this quite a bit with, especially like with your VSL and everything, like you want to call out your audience, what it is that you do, your offer and your guarantee, right? So let's talk about calling out your audience. So example of this, right? E-commerce brand owners above 50K a month, coaches doing above $1 million a year, interior designers who can handle 5 more projects per month, right? So you're calling out your audience and you're sort of like pre-qualifying them in a sense, especially when, you're saying things like e-commerce brand owners above 50K a month or coaches doing above $1 million per year, right? You're kind of like, you're calling them out, but then you're also pre-qualifying them in a different sense as well too. All right. Now the next step is being able to present your offer. Okay. So the offer must have 2 components to be extremely desirable. An outcome that speaks to the pre-existing desire within the market we're going after, okay? We first need to know exactly who the most ideal client is and then craft an offer around that specific person and make the outcome something that they deeply want, okay? I really want you guys to steer away from talking about things that, your ideal client needs, but focusing on what they want, right? And we actually dive more deeply into this, especially when it comes to the sales side, because that's actually what's holding a lot of you back in the sales side of your business, right? You might actually be booking calls right now, but the reason why you're failing is because you're speaking so much towards what they need compared to focusing on what they want. All right. So you need to be focusing on something deeply of what they want. All right. Then you need to present your guarantee, right? So like an or don't pay or type of guarantee, kind of like that. Typically like the you don't pay or we refund you or we'll give your money back, something like that. It always works better because in the mind of your viewer, your ideal prospect, they're thinking like, okay, like if they don't provide this guarantee based off of like the offer they're making, they're going to refund us. Like it's completely free for us. It's a risk-free guarantee, right? So in essence, you want to be able to say to the most ideal client, hey, I'll give you the thing that you want the most in the world within a respectable time frame, or I'll give you your money back. That's literally what you're telling the person. Okay. It's risk-free. Now, this offer must be the first words of the copy. Okay. I want you to picture it as like your first paragraph, right? So if you call out your audience, so, if you're calling out e-commerce brand owners, where you can have that as a sentence, you press basically like shift, it'd be a different paragraph. And then that's where you'd actually introduce like the offer and your guarantee. Okay. Then you need to start creating your unique appeal, right? So the appeal of the marketing message essentially refers to why this is different from everything else the prospect has heard and why it's exponentially better for the prospect to get their desired result with you. Okay. So you need to basically let them know and almost resonate with them in a sense that like this thing that you are presenting to them is something completely unique to the market, and it makes you unique, and the only way for them to get it is through you, and it's it's actually the one thing that's going to provide them to the solution to the things that they actually need, or sorry, that they want. Okay, so very, very important that you really create that unique appeal. All right, so the only way to know what the appeal is of the marketing message that you're writing is to know what else is being said in the market. So it will take a little bit of research. And I'm sure if you're an agency owner right now, you're probably caught in the rabbit hole of endless agency owner ads that all sound the same. They all look the same. And to be quite honest, I just know for a fact that they're not converting, because a lot of them, they all sound the same. They all look the same, right? So you need to, again, look at like what the common discrepancies are between all these other agencies running the exact same ads, and just literally do the opposite. And I can guarantee you'll get better results, which is crazy because it's literally that easy. So if you know what else is being said in the market, then that means you know what your ideal clients are hearing. Okay, so this provides you ammo that you need to be able to say something different, something new, and something unique that can basically appeal to your ideal prospect. Okay, so then you need to go into reaffirming their desire. All right. So everyone can make claims, but very few can back them up. So the moment that you claim in any of the ads that you write, you need to be able to justify to your prospects that like, listen, like I'm not just saying this bullshit, this nonsense to you. Like I can actually deliver on what it is that I'm trying to communicate to you. Okay. So remember, the people seeing your ads have no clue who you are, and they don't care about you. That's just the fact of the matter. Unless you're in the retargeting stage where they've seen you multiple times, the fact of the matter is they don't know you. They don't care about you. Okay. So we need to justify our claims. So here's the types of justification that you can basically utilize. All right. So your agency history, or, the law of averages, they kind of call it. So on average, our clients do X, Y, Z. All right. You can also utilize agency case studies and results. So, showing, screenshots of, your ads dashboard. Maybe it's screenshots of like their Shopify accounts, whatever it is. Like you have to relate it back to the clients that you're targeting, right? And then transparency on the client and client results and within that time frame, right? So maybe you even have some video testimonials that you could include, things like that, right? Like watch those video testimonials and actually just go in there and like copy basically what that person has said about you, put it in quotations, and then that's the exact thing. I always recommend doing that if the video in your actual ad creative matches what it is that you are like quoting in basically your copy. So if you have a video testimonial of someone that's like saying something really good about you, you can like put that in a quote in your copy as well too, okay? Because again, you want to keep that messaging very linear, right? So the only reason why someone will click an ad and book a call and ultimately become a client is that they can see themselves getting the results that they want. Okay, that's literally it. So let's talk about the unique process. All right. So when writing out your unique process for ads, keep it high level and don't get caught up in the explanation, as that should be described within your VSL. Okay. So the main thing is you want to keep it simple. All right. This is kind of considered your roadmap. So usually within the unique process in the ad copy, we keep it centered around the idea of why this is exponentially better than every other option on the market. And usually the easiest way to achieve that is by eliminating everything the prospect has tried in the past and eliminating everything they think they need to get the result. Okay. So you need to eliminate everything the prospect has tried. You can call it out. You can even, mention it to them, right? This will allow you to resonate better with your audience. Or secondly, although this may not be directly explaining the mechanism, you're introducing it, which is enough for the ad. Okay. So remember, the goal of the ad is to get qualified prospects to click. So again, you're eliminating everything that prospect has tried or what they think that they need, right? You want to speak to them as if like you're their friend and you're giving them advice and trying to come off in the most authentic and genuine way, right? When you start calling things out that they've already tried before, they're going to already know in their head, like subconsciously, this person knows what they're talking about. Because if they're focused so solely on like, boosting their website conversion rate by like 0.5%, right? Although it does make a difference, but if that's what they're focusing on, when like the actual thing that they, actually like want is like more money or more conversions, you just need to communicate that in a different way than what your market is telling them to do. Okay. So after that, the call to action. All right. So the CTA should really requalify and recall out your ideal client and specifically explain the next steps. Okay. So you can also experiment with having 2 call to actions in the copy, one right after the headline with the call out and offer, and another one at the very end. The standard is to have one CTA at the very end of your copy. I would just always recommend it. Like, I know some people even take the link that they're trying to redirect people to, and they'll even like copy and paste, basically copy the URL, paste it into their copy like twice in the copy. It's also something that you can do and try to split test. But typically the CTA would look something like this. So if you're insert your ideal client, okay, so if you're a e-commerce brand owner and you want, an additional $50,000 per month in monthly revenue, then click the learn more button below and book in a call. Okay. Something like that. Again, you'll make it sound way better because you'll actually have the time to put something that sounds really good together, but that's basically what it should look like in terms of a CTA. It should be very simple and it should be very straightforward, almost as if like you're telling it to like a child. If a child cannot understand your call to action, you're doing it wrong and you're being too overcomplicated in a sense. Okay. So simplify it and just dumb it down. Now, I want to talk about the forgotten ad real estate for a moment because this does relate to your copy as well too. So if you think about your copywriting, the most important part of your copy is going to be like the actual caption, right? So when someone sees your ad, they click see more and then it drops down all of your copy. That is your ad copy, okay? But something that a lot of people forget about is the actual headlines and the comment section, okay? Very, very important, all right? So first things first, let's talk about your headlines because this is obviously something that people will see when they actually see your ad. They don't need to click anything to see more of a headline. It'll show the headline right away. So again, you want to keep your headline very short and sweet and communicate the best aspect of what you're sharing, okay? So that could be your offer, your guarantee, the result that you provide, or even just poking fun at the industry, okay? It's kind of up to you at this point. Split test whatever and just have fun with it. The beauty of Facebook is you can actually create multiple headlines, multiple pieces of copy, and then Facebook will basically pair all those different headlines and pieces of copy together to see which combination of the two works the best with each other, and then it'll show that to your viewers, okay? So it's very, very simple. Headline, keep it simple, dumb it down, and just do those 4 things, okay? But the comment section is actually a really interesting one because it's the cool thing about the comment section is like it'll actually help you get better CPMs and potentially a better click-through rate, okay? So let's dive into that. So there is 3 reasons why we utilize the comment section, okay? So number 1 is sparking engagement in the comment section. We welcome good and rude comments, okay? This gives us the chance to make ourselves look even better than we are and make us look good, okay? Good comments means you're getting free social proof and more hype. Bad comments gives you an opportunity to actually respond to those people and, justify yourself or, put at ease what other people are maybe saying. So let's say someone, maybe they're not like, chirping you like specifically, or they're not like bashing you specifically, right? But they're just saying, oh, another one of these agencies doing yada, 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 right? You can basically now have the opportunity to jump in there and say, hey, so-and-so, like totally understand where you're coming from. We pride ourselves in actually approaching things in this sort of sense. And you see where I'm coming from, right? Like you can literally just like hype yourself up in a sense and showcase to other people that maybe read that guy's comment, like, wow, like this agency took the time now to actually respond to this person instead of just deleting it like a lot of other agencies would. And now like you basically just handle an objection to a bunch of people who are reading the comments, okay? And again, Facebook doesn't know if these comments are good or bad. So they're just seeing all this engagement now come onto your ad, and they're just seeing it as like, oh, okay, it's like someone's engaging, ad must be good, right? So you want to welcome good and bad engagement, but at the end of the day, all engagement is good engagement, okay? So secondly, it allows you to communicate extra points to comments that touch on possible objections, like I said. So this might add an extra 5 to 10% of the traffic to go click your link, okay? So if Facebook sees people commenting on your ad, they'll show it to more people for less, all right? So your CPMs will actually be like unheard of. Like we have CPMs for agency ads that are like below $20, which is like nuts on certain ad sets, of course. And that's typically within the ad sets that like our best performing creatives are running on. And like I'm telling you, like with some of these things that we're going to show you guys, like right here, it's like unheard of. And it just all comes down to just being able to like drive a ton of engagement to your ad creatives, right? Or sorry, to your ads. So how to use a comment section real estate. Okay. So write out 2 common objections that you receive and answer them. Okay. So when you have an ad posted, share that link and go to your own, go to your agency or wherever you're choosing to run your ads, right? So if you're running from like an agency Facebook page, go to the ad and comment 2 common objections and just put them in there, right? So whenever someone opens up the comment section, now they can see like, okay, like here's this agency that made this ad, here's this objection, and here's them answering it, right? Again, super easy way. You can even do something as simple as commenting a simple question. So who's tired of not scaling their brand, right? Creating that engagement. Again, some people might like that comment, some people might reply to it, gives you more opportunity to respond and create engagement in that comment thread, right? Thirdly, I want to encourage you to send your ads to your friends and send them to your team. Okay. Now, you have to be very, very specific with this. When you're sending your ads to your friends, you do not want your friends being like, good job. Like for me, like if I send them to my friends, like, good job, Dom, like keep crushing it, like blah, blah. Like, no, like you want to send them to your friends and like literally tell them what they need to comment in the comment section so that it's relatable to your ideal prospect, right? So commenting something like, I know it sounds like bad, but like you need to just like create that initial engagement, right? So you can make it as genuine and as authentic as possible. But like typically what we have our friends do is like, I'll have myself, my CMO, my media buyer share our ads with all of our friends. And then we'll basically just have them comment something as like, Pinnacle Media is the real deal, or like Pinnacle Media is like so awesome to work with. Like, thank you so much, Pinnacle Media, or like great ad. Like there's something that's like genuine and authentic, right? Like we're not trying to like have our friends and family like boost us for results that never like even were created, right? Like that's where you're overstepping your boundaries. But we want to encourage them to like promote our agency in a really positive and beneficial way, but in a way that is more genuine and more authentic. Okay. Now you're going to want to reply back to all the comments with like emojis or something that is just, again, it's genuine and it's authentic. Whether that's you or someone in your team, you can have someone, outsourced to kind of reply back to that engagement. Now, any prompts that you feel could spark engagement, throw them in the comment section. Okay. So you can even add a CTA for viewers to comment, sort of like a thread on Twitter, right? So improving the engagement in your comment section will tell Facebook your ad is engaging, which will lead them to push your ad out even more. Okay. So again, it'll just lead to better CPMs. And in this industry, having good CPMs it's a good thing, right? Like you should want really good CPMs. Obviously, the lower the CPMs, the cheaper it is to get your ad shown to, 1,000, not 1,000 people, but 1,000 impressions, which is really, really awesome. Especially just because a lot of agency owners now are starting to dip their toes into paid ads. So having good CPMs is just going to help you out a lot more, right? So anyways, that is the end of today's module. So hopefully this made a lot more sense in terms of your Facebook agency ad copy when it comes to, running Facebook ads. I know that, the best advice I can give you is just to, dumb it down and keep it as simple as possible. Okay. I would highly recommend creating multiple variants of ad copy. The reason for this is because you're just going to have to test a bunch of different ad copy. Like when you are running your first ad, I would only split test around 2 pieces of copy with your creatives, just because anything more than that, it's a little bit egregious. It's kind of overkill. And it makes it a little bit tougher for you to identify like what piece of copy is actually generating the results. Even though you can break it down, it's just you're going to need a little bit more spend. Whereas for me personally and for our agency, at least the way my CMO communicated it, it's way better to spend a little bit more on the front end, get the data in sooner, and then you can make those calculated adjustments based off of the data that you're receiving much sooner than later. Okay, so split test your copy. Utilize this framework. This framework is the most important framework, this one right here. If you're doing this with your copy, it'll be very, very good. Okay. So hopefully this helps you guys out. Let me know in the Discord if you guys have any questions around your Facebook ad copy, and myself or my CMO or the rest of my team members will be able to get back to you. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you guys in the next module.